Good morning from Zurich, Switzerland, and welcome to another GA Canine training video, folks. Today we're going to be working on what we call surface transitions, and surface transitions are absolutely imperative for a dog to learn how to do on their own. And this is probably one of the best examples I've had in video in a long time. This young shepherd, only 8 months old, picks up a beautiful track on green grass. You can see how well she's working. It's self-evident. You don't even need to be a dog trainer or handler to know how well that dog was working. Immediately encounters a hard surface, goes left, goes right,
you put too much
and
tension on,
detects
so
the rocks from a distance.
She was
In other
trying
words,
to go to the
odor
rocks.
of the track that's on those
There you
rocks.
go.
You
See
see
it?
this head pop. It hits it
You
hard,
gotta-
but it's
you
a
gotta be
weak odor,
careful
so
with
it's
so
a
much
little
tension,
unsure
a
at
little
first.
lighter.
Back to
Little
the grass.
lighter.
Now we're back in business. The track's going nice and strong. Dog's trying to power through everything really, really well. This next surface transition is probably the most important one of all, because this is where the dog learns from everything that it's doing wrong, which is moving too fast. Comes off this good soft surface, good productive source, moves left, probably with the prevailing wind and blown odor. But because the head's up so high and she's running, frantically trying to acquire scent, she can't. So the first thing she does is she goes right back to that really good last track and details the snot out of it. She's really, really looking hard to make sure she can find this exit, not quite understanding that it goes on this really difficult hard surface.
Okay,
Peels off in another
put her over
direction,
there.
doesn't
You
have
want to
good
make
odor,
sure
so she
we bring
comes
her
back
back.
to the soft
There we
surface,
go. Good.
details once more. And this is where the magic occurs. And if you watch really, really closely, you're going to see how the dog learns from its own behavior to do one thing, and that's to slow down. And now we have hard surface trailing work in all its finery. Enjoy this. This is really a great video right here.
Voila.
We're back to the soft surface and everything's easy, and the dog's working it quite well. The next transition is going to be coming up at the next intersection, and when this actually occurs, you'll see that the dog is a little bit better prepared for it, because the previous encounters with hard surface changes. The dogs learn two things. One, sometimes odor's on the other side, and two, I can also find odor on the hard surface if I slow down enough. So watch what happens coming up to this next intersection.
You're safe.
So the dog, in all its excitement, figuring out exactly what goes on, starts to speed up, probably more than it should, comes off the hard track that's on the soft surface, and starts trailing probably what we think might be fringe odor off to the right of the track. Eventually this fringe odor begins to dissipate and go away. You can see how the dog looks back for a little bit of direction and then heads off to the road. Perhaps we have some odor blown over here, perhaps not. It also could just be hunting. But what I really like about this is that the handler lets this play out with the dog and allows the dog to come all the way back to reacquire. Now pay attention really closely, because you're going to see how the dog will circle back to where it believed it last had odor, and then finally details this location to get the exact spot where the
Careful
track
with the
is.
tension.
Now the track isn't absolutely mandatory to trail, it just helps the dog with direction of travel. So here it comes.
Good. Nice. Okay, here we go. Very good.
So right now what we're having is a little bit of a proximity alert. There's some wind-blown odor from our subject not too far away. And this is what we call a far alert. It's a little Stevie Wonder action with the head, moving left, moving right, going back to the track. And it's because the wind scent's not persistent. There's no scent cone or scent pool to work in or around. So right now the dog's frantically trying to acquire this odor, and it's just not happening, so it has to go back to the track to get the exact direction of travel. I really like this detail right here. Now as we get closer across the street to the other side of the building, you're going to see how the proximity alert begins to manifest itself even more. Like that last surface transition, we have a dog that details the exact step-off point and gets a good direction of travel on the hard surface and figures out where the odor is on the other side. Okay, so now the proximity alert is really going to start flaring up. We have intensity change, speed change, head up, head really straining into the wind, and it's because the wind is wrapping around this building towards our handler. And now, of course, the dog locates the segment. Really nice trail.
Pretty girl.
Thanks for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed this GA canine training video. If you like what we do, if you want more of it, make sure you check out my book. It's called The Tao of Trailing, and I go into a lot of this type of work that we're doing here. It's available at www.gacanine.com.